That's the best indication, given that you're not going to know what people are going to say, to make it worth people attending.
Actually, we did try to address that. Chris, do you want to, because we had a chat with some of the organisers, so do you want to, because you posed a question to them, so do you want to kind of fill us in on that?
Yeah, so Mark Lillycrop from ITSMF was there, no surprise, and I did ask him at lunch what he thought of how the morning went. I had hoped he hadn't been seeing my tweets because I kind of wanted a completely honest answer, but he already knew what I thought. But he did admit that I don't want to put words into his mouth, especially around this, but I got the impression that he was admitting that it was tricky and it perhaps hadn't gone as well as they'd hoped. He did say that presentation had been back and forth a few times. And I have to say, if you're an ITSMF member, you should be able to see the slides yourself on the ITSMF site. If you look at the slides just from those, it doesn't look like a sales pitch. It's really just the way it was presented, and that's very difficult to guard against, I think, when you're doing that kind of thing. It's an excuse and all that kind of stuff, but if I'm going to slag them off or slag off how it went, I suppose I should be fair in presenting the other side.
But they are friends of the G2, G3, aren't they?
Yeah, there's been an announcement about G2, G3 signing up to provide bespoke simulations for ServiceNow. The interesting thing I think there is that actually the simulations, and I've done loads of them over the years, but if you've been at them, they're great, but they kind of end. But if this approach is actually including the software in the simulation, so it kind of is allowed to build from that going forward. I think as a general point, they are obviously still just growing and growing. They've still got these hundreds of jobs on their website.
There was another announcement at the event. So we had a presentation from clip9, who do the stuff around kind of proactive problem management, and very much viewed as kind of specialists in that particular area. And that was pretty good because it was an audience participation piece, but then there was...
Well, it was pretty good for the 2 seconds that it lasted, and then there was a 5-minute, oh, and by the way, the next version of ServiceNow is going to have Kepner-Trago workflows and forms built into it. Now, as an announcement, that's fine, but it was they cut short the actual content to make sure they said that. And it was straight after Disco Dave's one as well, so we're already on a feeling of, wait, what have we paid for type thing.
Just finally on ServiceNow, is it just worth saying that, that a couple of weeks ago we were saying, the jobs market's pretty healthy and, they're advertising hundreds of jobs. At the same time, we do hear that some of the other players in the market